What's going on, guys? This is Rob, and if you're enjoying the content that I'm uploading onto my channel, then feel free to subscribe, and you can also offer suggestions on topics and characters and storylines and whatnot that we can have discussions on later on in this channel. So for this week's installment of our Versus series, we're going to switch things up and try something a little bit different. Instead of pitting two characters against each other, we're going to look at two teams and decide a winner, and the battle we're going to be looking at today is the DC Rebirth Teen Titans versus the all-new, all-different Avengers. And so in order to determine a winner, we have to begin by explaining the members of each team, as well as their powers and abilities, starting with the Teen Titans. So the DC Rebirth version of the Teen Titans made its debut earlier this year as part of DC's relaunch of most of its titles, and is led by Damian Wayne, who's also the current Robin in the DC universe, as well as the son of Bruce Wayne and Talia al Ghul. Now, like all the Robins, Damian has no superpowers, but he is an expert fighter due to his extensive training that he's received since birth from his grandfather Ra's al Ghul and his League of Assassins, and later by his father Bruce Wayne and Dick Grayson. Now, in addition to being an expert fighter, Damian is also a highly skilled acrobat and escapologist, but his greatest asset is his access to Batman's extensive arsenal of weapons and technology, many of which allow him to augment his physical abilities so that he can stand toe-to-toe with superpowered opponents. Now, next up on the Teen Titans roster is Starfire, and she's a member of an alien race known as the Tamaranians, and is able to absorb ultraviolet radiation and convert it to pure energy, enabling her to fly, as well as imbue her with superhuman strength and durability. It's also important to know that she can release the energy she absorbs as powerful bursts of energy known as starbolts, and can even store energy and release it all at once in a devastating blast that travels in all directions. Now, the next member on the Teen Titans is Kid Flash, also known as the New 52 Wally West. Now, Kid Flash, like all speedsters in the DC universe, is able to access the Speed Force and derive the ability to travel at super speeds. The problem with this is that right now in DC Rebirth, he's still getting his powers sorted out, so he's not nearly on the same level as Barry Allen or the pre-New 52 Wally West. Now, Raven is perhaps the most powerful member of the team and is the half-human, half-demon daughter of Trigon. She's also an empath, meaning she can detect and influence the emotions of those around her, and she can also heal others by absorbing their pain, and possesses an ability to generate and control darkness itself, and is even able to project a giant raven made from pure darkness. Furthermore, she also possesses the powers of telepathy, telekinesis, hypnosis, and teleportation. Now, rounding out the Rebirth Teen Titans roster is Beast Boy, who has the ability to instantly transform into any animal that he's ever seen, either in real life or in a photo or illustration, including animals that are extinct, like dinosaurs. In addition to taking the form of these animals, he also takes on the physical attributes, such as their strength or ability to fly, and even breathe underwater. And in addition to this, he also has a fairly advanced healing factor, going so far as being able to regenerate limbs. And so now that we've gone over the Teen Titans, I want to turn our attention to all new, all different Avengers. Now, this version of the Avengers was put together by Mark Waid following 2015's Secret Wars event, which sought to offer a fresh take on many of Marvel's teams. To that end, Waid paired several established members of the Avengers together with a host of younger heroes joining the team for the first time. Starting with the traditional members of the team, we first come with Ironman. Now, I'm going to assume that you've watched my channel enough to know that you know who Ironman is, but if you don't, there will be a couple of videos down in the description, but I think it's also important to run over him pretty quickly. Basically, Ironman has no superpowers, but he uses his genius-level intelligence and massive bank account to build suits of armor that allow him to fly and fire repulsor blasts, as well as take on a multitude of some of Marvel's most powerful beings. Now, following this is Thor, but it needs to be noted that we're not talking about the traditional Thor Odin's son. Instead, we're talking about Jane Foster, who's taken up the mantle of Thor after she was able to lift Odin's son's hammer Mjolnir after he was found unworthy following Jason Aaron's original sin event. Now, while she does wield the hammer, Jane possesses all the same abilities that Odin's son derived from Mjolnir, which includes superhuman strength that allows her to lift in excess of 100 tons, flight, superhuman speed and durability, an advanced healing factor, and the ability to summon and command lightning. Also on the Avengers is Captain America Sam Wilson, previously known as the Falcon. Now, like Iron Man, Sam Wilson does not possess any superpowers that would help him here. And I say that because the only power he does possess is an empathic link with birds that allows him to see through their eyes. In addition to this, he is skilled in martial arts and is at peak physical condition, and he's afforded the ability to fly by a set of mechanical wings, and is also in possession of Captain America's vibranium shield, which he can use offensively or defensively. Now, rounding out the veteran Avengers is the Vision, and the Vision is a synthesoid or synthetic humanoid, and is probably the most powerful member of the Avengers lineup, if not one of the most powerful Avengers in Marvel overall. In addition to superhuman strength, speed, durability, and flight, Vision is able to manipulate his density and make himself intangible or incredibly dense. Furthermore, he can absorb solar energy through the solar jewel on his forehead and can expel it as a powerful destructive blast. Now, as we said earlier, there are several new members of the Avengers, and the first one we'll go with is Miss Marvel, or Kamala Khan. Now, due to her inhuman heritage, Kamala was bestowed with powers due to her exposure to the Terrigen Mist. Now, her powers consist of an ability to stretch, compress, or distort her limbs to basically any shape she can imagine and change her size from a few inches tall to the height of a building. And she also has a healing factor, although she must revert to her normal dimensions while healing, and healing also leaves her tired and hungry. Following this, we come to Spider-Man Miles Morales. Now, Miles has very similar powers to the Peter Parker version of Spider-Man, which is enhanced strength and agility, ability to climb walls, and a spider sense that can alert him of impending danger, although his spider sense is not as strong as Peter Parker's. In addition to this, Miles has some powers that Peter does not, such as the ability to camouflage himself by blending in with his surroundings, a venom sting capable of paralyzing anyone he touches, and a more powerful version of the venom sting called the Venom Blast, which can only be used after significant time to recharge. Now, moving on to Sam Alexander, who's the newest version of Nova in Marvel Comics, he's also on the Avengers roster, and Sam gets all his abilities from his Nova helmet, which includes the power of flight, superhuman strength, speed, and durability, and the ability to use the Nova Force as a shield or a powerful blast of energy. And finally, we have the all-new, all-different Wasp, Nadya Pym. Now, Nadya is the daughter of Hank Pym and is in possession of one of Ant-Man's suits, which allows her to shrink in size while retaining her normal mass and strength. In addition to this, she has genius-level intelligence and received martial arts training from the Red Room, which is the same organization that trained Natasha Romanoff, the Black Widow. And so now that we've finally gone over the rosters of each team, we can look at who would win in a battle. Now, you may have noticed that the scales seem to be tipped in favor of the Avengers already, since their roster contains 8 members as opposed to the 5 members that make up the Teen Titans. And so what we're going to do here is we're going to even the sides up just a little bit. In my opinion, the strongest characters in the battle are Thor and Vision, so we're going to take them off the board. And we'll just say Thor is unavailable because he's dealing with bigger threats in Asgard, and Vision is taking care of his creepy robot family. Now, while it might not seem fair to take away the 2 strongest members of one team, I think most people would concede that the Teen Titans would not match up in a fair fight with an Avengers roster that had Thor and Vision. And we want to keep things interesting, so we'll concede that both rosters are at full power and the Avengers get the victory. However, this still leaves the Avengers with a one-person advantage, so we're going to remove Ironman from the playing field, and the reason for this is that I think what's most intriguing about this battle is that it contains so many young heroes from both the DC and Marvel universes, so I want to preserve as much of that dynamic as possible. And so we'll just say that Tony Stark's business obligations are keeping him from participating, and this also leaves Captain America on the team, which is going to give the young team some valuable leadership due to his military background and years of experience as a superhero. And so now that we have all that out of the way, we can finally answer the question of who would win in a battle between the young heroes of each team. Now, with that stipulation in place, I think that there are several areas where the teams match up in interesting ways. For instance, I think Sam Wilson and Damian Wayne are both strong leaders. However, I think that despite his young age, I'd actually give the fighting advantage to Damian due to his extensive training by the League of Assassins as well as Bruce Wayne. Nova and Starfire also match up pretty well, as both are flying characters that rely on energy projection for offense, and I think the battle basically results in a tie. Now, with that said, I think the 2 real X factors that push this battle in favor of the Teen Titans are Raven and Kid Flash. In truth, there is simply no one on the Avengers side that can account for their power sets. The only Avenger that could even come close to matching Kid Flash's speed would be Vision, and that proposal is arguable at best, but it doesn't matter since we've taken him off the board. This presents a huge problem for the Avengers, as Kid Flash would basically be unstoppable. Furthermore, Raven is able to use control of shadows to actually remove people from the battlefield, which the Avengers really don't have an answer for. And so unless the Avengers are able to take Raven and Kid Flash out quickly, which I really don't see happening due to their durability and healing, I think that those 2 characters are too powerful for the Avengers to defeat. And so that's basically how I see this fight playing out. You give the Avengers a full roster, and they will win, due both to the superior numbers as well as the fact that they have 2 of the strongest characters on the board in Vision and Thor. However, if we narrow the scope of the battle to the young heroes, I think we have to give the victory to the Teen Titans. But with that being said, I'm kind of curious to see what you guys think, because I have no doubt this is going to inspire all kinds of debate. I'm sure some people will complain that we took away a couple members of the Avengers and they would rather see a team of 8 versus 5, but I think it was more important to even the playing field and have 5 versus 5. So again, let me know down in the description, because I'm kind of curious. I want to know, who do you guys think would win in a battle between the Teen Titans and the all-new, all-different Avengers? Also, if you guys have suggestions on future videos for battles between Marvel, DC, or Marvel and Image, or whatever the case may be, then let me know down in the comments section, because I'm actually pretty curious to see what you all have. If you're new here to Comics Explained, make sure you guys hit the sub button, become part of the Rob Corps, and if you guys enjoyed this video, drop a like, and yeah. I will catch you all later. Peace.